paying a visit to one of Scotland's lesser-known royal residences.
Many castles in the Highlands have links to royalty, but here at Castle Menzies, one previous royal resident was more unique than what you might think. This is Duleep Singh, the last ruler of the Sikh Empire in the Punjab, part of modern-day Pakistan. He became king in 1843, aged only 5. So how did this Maharaja from colonial India end up in rural Perthshire? Rupa Mukher from the charity Colourful Heritage can tell me.
He was the youngest of 7 sons of the Lion of Punjab, a man called Maharajah Duleep Singh, who ruled the Sikh Empire.
Duleep was only a child when he came to the throne. His father had died in 1839, prompting a period of instability. 2 of Duleep's brothers were assassinated before he was crowned, with his mother ruling as regent. Things didn't calm down. The Sikh Empire was a prize, and the British opened hostilities. 2 wars later, they annexed his Sikh kingdom.
He was around age 10, and at that time he was deposed and put under the guardianship of a Scotsman called Sir John Spencer Logan, and ended up here in Castle Menzies in Perthshire because it had been leased for him by Sir John Logan, and this is where he effectively ended up staying for the rest of his teens.
What do you think life would have been like for him, coming away from his culture, everything he'd known, to a castle in the Highlands?
I can only imagine it would have been really quite a stark contrast and quite difficult for him. You know, he was a young royal used to lavish palaces, exotic plants, exotic animals even. You know, of course the climate was probably something that was quite different as well. You know,
that would have been probably the most difficult thing to adjust
I think so.
Judging by this photograph, Duleep did adapt, but perhaps he had no choice.
When he was deposed, the British policy at the time was that he was to become culturally anglicised. So that would have meant everything from the way that he looked to what he ate to his religious beliefs.
For a Sikh ruler to cut his hair short, though, what is the significance of that?
The whole point of having uncut hair is to symbolise holiness and strength. For him to have cut his hair was a big, big thing, because having a turban, having a beard is a very visible symbol of being a Sikh. And to see the last ruler of the Sikh Empire in this way would have been a highly controversial moment in history.
Pushed away from his faith by Logan, he converted to Christianity before he was even 15. Here at Menzies Castle, far from his birthplace and birthright, he adopted the manners and style of the Highlands.
He was basically a typical Highland laird. He was throwing parties, he was hanging out with Queen Victoria, and actually he was frequently seen just out on the moors in his traditional Scottish kilt.
He was described in the language of the time as the Black Prince of Perthshire. As he got older, though, his feelings towards Britain and the British changed. He regained his Sikh faith and tried, unsuccessfully, to recapture his throne. He died aged 55 in Paris. But in Kenmore Kirkyard, not far from the castle, there's a lasting and tragic reminder of Duleep's time here.
This grave here is Maharaja Duleep Singh's firstborn son, and unfortunately his son died when he was a day old. Let's be honest, Kenmore Kirk is probably the last place you're expecting to see this, but it's so hugely significant. The heir to, you know, the Sikh Empire is here.
This part of Perthshire is now a place of pilgrimage.
This child, he lived for only a day, but he has brought our nations together. That is karma.
And is inextricably linked with Duleep Singh and Sikh history.
Having this story here, you know, the fact that we've got Maharaja Duleep Singh's son's grave here, that grave in itself has gathered so many communities together. people who had a historical connection with the Punjab, and many South Asian people at the moment still have that connection to the Punjab, so it's really important to a lot of people. Yes, it's a huge historical significant story for Sikhs worldwide, but for Scots, due to the geography of it, I think it's really important that we do know what we have here right at home.